Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I've just suddenly noticed that you've still got the green arrows because it's still green arrows, but I probably should have changed mine.
It's all right, mate. It's all right. It was bound to happen. It's what happened when you get to better ranks. You can just slip, right? Just one decision, right, and then you can slip. And to be fair, I put myself in a position where I wasn't going to slip. Like there was literally no chance of me slipping up. There was no chance of me, almost regardless of what happened. I was pretty safe. Like the Liverpool game kind of hurt a little bit, but not really, not loads. And we were going through the SKLW. They send out this little thing that from Hub, which like summarizes your mini league. And I'm like the second most template in that mini league, and that includes like Flapjack. I mean, there's a few people in there. Few good managers in there.
You are.
Yeah, second most template player in the league.
Template wanker. We always knew
template
you
wanker,
to be
bench
one.
wanker, everything. Just a wanker, mate.
Well, it paid well, mate. It paid well because mine did not. I had a shocker of a week.
But it's like one player, right? It's only really one player.
It is one player, but it's a really interesting week in a way because I think my game week rank was something like 4 million. But I went up. It doesn't sound so bad, does it?
No.
But my rank increase was 50%. And it's an absolute disaster, is because it's actually like everybody who's engaged did better than me. Like that.
Yeah.
Like it genuinely feels that way. Oh, as we've started it, mate, Chelsea have just come 3-0 up. So we can, well, that's good because that means on this pod we can start planning that Chelsea and Tottenham are not going to have a fixture in game week 26.
Easy peasy. They were always going to win, weren't they?
Yeah. I had a hope. Had to hope.
I said it to Harry last week, I think it was, or someone the week before. It was like when we went and lost to Sheffield United.
Yeah, you did.
Stuff. Yeah,
you did.
Lost to Sheffield United. You just got home and then just did it. And that's kind of just what happens.
I refused. I was like, no, Chelsea. No, Borough going to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, no, not tonight. Not tonight by the sounds of it.
Not tonight.
Hello to everyone in the chat. Welcome back to the end of the longest game week ever. Did anybody actually have any fun over that game week? Because I was bored shitless. There's still another week until the deadline. It's
not even like football's back this weekend.
No.
But it's FA Cup.
We've got some.
I'm quite glad we've got a good tie in a way.
Oh, I'm not. No, mate, I'd have taken Eastleigh or whatever bollocks.
I suppose. I would have been through.
Rather than City. Jesus Christ.
At least it's a big game. Do you know what I mean? At least it's a big game, at least.
Gary Mabbott as well, the bastard, drawing the away teams. It's done us completely. 20 years of service. And
I might have said some bad things about Gary Mabbott when he pulled that out.
But yeah, FA Cup then, midweek deadline. We've got...
Yeah, tighten it.
Really tight turnaround. We're going to know, because especially if we're going to plan, right? If we're going to develop some kind of plan, then, we're going to have a lot of information come Monday night when the FA Cup draw is done, and we're going to know a lot more. Like, we're going to know more about Haaland. We're going to know more about KDB's fitness. We're going to know more about Salah. We're going to know more about, like, who's playing who, potentially, as well. Well, we will know who's playing who, so we'll have that path to 29.
Let's drop some cards on the table. If we get a leak, so we get all the perfect stuff, and the perfect stuff says that KDB and Haaland are going to start on Wednesday night. What are you doing?
Bring him in.
Both.
Just bring him in. Yeah. Watkins, Salah, done. Out.
Watkins, Salah.
That's the only way I can afford it. And I can afford it with a -4 doing that. Watkins, Salah, done.
No, you can't because you'd have 4 City.
Oh no, I need to do one more, don't I? Oh no, sorry, the other one, no. Then I do Alvarez to João Pedro.
Yes, fucking hell, big boy.
So good, it's so good. I was already looking at it like a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's Alvarez for João Pedro. That's a good point. I would have 4.
But... And which one would you cap?
Fucking hell, that's hard. I'd probably cap Kev. To be fair,
yeah,
just because first game back. Depends again, right? When we say leak for Haaland. Like, are we assuming like Haaland gets some minutes on Friday against Spurs then? We want the perfect.
Let's play the perfect world is they both play Friday night. Haaland plays at least 70 minutes in the game.
City lose.
City lose. and we get a league that they're both going to play.
Fair enough.
Bang.
Fair
Just
enough.
-8. Boom.
Just,
Chuck 'em
just
in.
-8. Just go.
Get the captain
Like,
with
like you just get him in though. Like we said just before, and we're going to talk. I'm going to say it now rather than when we talk about the game. But how fucking stupid was it not having any Liverpool players this week? Like,
Let's do our teams, and then we pick up with how stupid was it being.
Oh my god! Right. So, okay, let's just do leagues. So, league update. Left hand side is the public league. That is the league that is now shut. So, Scott Forrest and Anise, they are both 90th in the world, or 9. Like Scott's a little bit ahead because of transfers, but they've both got a shit ton of points. They are first and second in our league. Scott is 90th in the world. So, keep going, Scott. We're rooting for you. Although loose cannons makes me think that you're an Arsenal fan. So,
God,
yeah, that's gonna be tough. I'll check that, but I'm not gonna boot you. Don't worry, but I'll check that. And then in the Discord league, so Erky's still smashing things. It's weird. This manager of the month that we got going on is only actually 2 game weeks this month. So this chip will be sent to whoever finishes first in that 2-week stint.
Did Dan get 100 points this week?
Yeah,
Dan. Crypto block Dan. Yeah. When you see that little man flashing in the corner,
do you want to?
We love you, Dan.
Yeah, I've got a little slide for Dan. Did he get 100 points, or did I put the wrong thing in there? I'm sure.
I don't know.
Points.
Let's just say he did. He's beating us. That's all we know.
We know that. This is true. This is true.
What have we become?
He's probably just chilling out. Do you know what he's doing at the weekend?
No, probably another country. Do whatever he likes.
He's doing this.
Oh my god! Look at him.
Look at him. What an Adonis. So he's building up to do High Rocks in Manchester.
He's got some guns on him now, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's building up to do High Rocks in Manchester. My old PT is like a High Rocks ambassador from when I lived down south, and he used to do PT for me while I was in KL as well, like long distance. So he's like a High Rocks ambassador, like world record holder in pairs and men's pairs and stuff like that.
We're not tapping him up because we want a new deal, Dan. But
you look great, Dan. You look great, Dan.
You're smashing it.
Great. And Sam's saying that's last week. So
yeah,
I mean, if it is last week, then I don't know. I'm sure it was this week.
Well,
I'm really.
How
it is. How
did you do, mate?
It's definitely last week's. How did I do? Let's do my scores. And is this last week's or is this week's? This is.
Oh, this week's.
This is this week's. Yeah. So I had 64 points. So yeah, good week. Like 1.3, 1.4 game week rank, which is decent. Gabriel, goal assist. Still didn't see a definitive angle that showed that wasn't going in. Didn't see one definitive angle.
Some weird camera all weekend, wasn't it? I don't know if you saw the much of the Brighton game, but the 2 times Gilmore pulled Cunha down, they were like, "Nah, we're not going to show that. We're not going to show that."
Yeah.
Like, and that one, like, just never saw it again.
Yeah, and then obviously, so the back line, like if I compare this to last week, the back line was absolutely horrific. This week, it smashed it to pieces. So,
monstrous.
Yeah, 30 odd points from the back line with Porro and Purvis. Thank you very much. Saka cap is what it is. I said if I was going to bring him in, I was going to cap him, which I did. So, it is what it is. Palmer 2, Foden and Gordon bench wankery. Lovely boys.
And then forward lines.
And then shit, man. Shit up front. Nothing. Like nothing at all. Up front, Watkins, Solanke, Alvarez.
Yeah, we got strikers.
So up to within the top 1.8 million now. So we're grinding, we're getting there.
It's on the way.
Another green arrow.
On the way, mate. Another green
arrow. Over to you.
Not a green arrow for me, mate. Yeah, like 200k to 300k basically. Because I had Saliba, not Gabriel, so there's 11 points down. I'd taken a hit. I'd kind of made the move that I'm probably going to move to 3-4-3, so I brought Garnacho in. And then I had no Brighton, so that obviously hurt a lot. And no Liverpool, hurt a lot. And Gordon was probably a surprise hit, the way I was like, oh, I should at least get away with that one. But obviously 7 points from him back in the start of the game week wasn't so ideal. So yeah, pretty much anybody who could hurt me. The only one that didn't hurt me that probably could have was Bowen in the end.
Yeah.
Like when potentially I thought he was going to get a penalty. I was out. I was in the car when they got the penalty, and I was like, that would just be the end. That would just be the end. But JWP stood up and slotted it home. So at least I didn't get punished by a Bowen. But yeah, 47 points net. Filthy.
I was surprised. He stepped up and took that penalty. To be fair.
Yeah, I was.
Um,
Yeah, I was.
yeah.
We can talk about them.
Cool.
We can talk about them.
Shall we move on to a league update, mate? So I've updated the leagues.
Oh my God, look how many points they've got now. It's disgusting.
So many points. Right, so John O'Shea and Anise. So Scott had dropped down. John is definitely 90th OR. I'm going to double check this. Live rank 90. Yeah. So John's on 90. Shout out, John.
Incredible.
Anise still up there, played his second wild card. And Erky, yeah. See, this is why. So Sam in the chat, Sam Carr in the chat, he's in our Discord, and he was looking at that league going, I know I'm higher than like 5th.
Yeah.
I'm second in this league. I'm saying he spotted it. We've spotted you, don't worry. And yeah, just knocking Kev down a peg. Cool. So well done to you guys. Yeah, I guess.
Big boys.
Fixtures. Liverpool. Where do you want to start?
Liverpool. Let's do the Liverpool game.
Okay. Liverpool game. How the hell do we not have any Liverpool players? Why?
Is this slightly make you feel better when you actually look at it and go 1.6 versus 1.39 XG? This doesn't feel like a 4-0 game.
Yes and no. I think at the same time, I think that, you know, we could have been punished even more because I think Cliver probably goes in the first half.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a Liverpool fan watching that challenge and I've watched Harvey Elliott snap Basuma's leg and gone, how is that not the same thing?
Yeah. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones.
Oh, was it Curtis Jones? Again,
yeah, Curtis Jones. Nice.
Whatever.
Curtis Jones, nice, mate. I do get that, but I do think there's that whole thing of everyone judges by that, including Klopp. And you're like, hold on, did you complain that Curtis Jones got sent off? Yes. So why are you now comparing challenges unless you actually thought Jones should have been sent off in the first place?
This is
like
true.
Comparing bad decision with bad decision is like one of the strange ways that, but everyone does it. I do it, you do it, we all do it. Like everyone does it.
But we can in this position where we are, we can say this stuff.
But him saying it after he'd lost his mind for it happening, you're like, shouldn't it just be that he shouldn't have got sent off in the first place? But they're not all the same. But it wasn't very nice. It wasn't very nice. But we've seen loads of not very nice that do get punished and loads that don't. Bournemouth. Let's do them first.
I mean,
is there anything?
I don't know. There? I just don't. Well, it's so stupid because it's like they've fallen off. It's not like they've fallen off a cliff. This is a difficult fixture, and I think we're being maybe a little bit blinded by the fact that last year last year when Liverpool went to Bournemouth, they lost. Right, Liverpool lost. Bournemouth won the game. So because Bournemouth have had a decent run and they've been playing quite well, there's just almost feels like we've basically softened like the difficulty level on this game for them. Add in the fact as well that there's no Salah, no Trent. You go, well, this is a weakened Liverpool in theory, and so surely that means Bournemouth do better. But at the same time, like we're just not going to pretend that like Jota's not a great finisher, and we're not going to pretend that like Núñez eventually does score goals when he gets chances. Like they're good finishes. Like the second finish I like a lot as well because he just gets something on it. He doesn't make it complicated. He doesn't overcomplicate that one. He just gets a foot on it.
It only just crept in, mine.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. The thing is, this is the difference as well. You say it only just crept in because he hasn't scored many. Like if he's scored like 20 goals already this season, you go
it's a good finish.
Side of the net, side netting, perfect.
To the side foot, I loved the first goal. What I loved was when was the last time you ever saw like first time inside of the foot pass to pass. So Jones inside of the foot passes to Jota, who passes inside, who passes into the net. I was like, oh, it's quite aesthetically pleasing, even if it is Liverpool. So yeah, it is. But maybe they got it going. Maybe what you feel like is that, and it's hindsight, it's easy, isn't it? They're both braced, but you're like, it don't feel right that I didn't own one of those two.
No. Maybe it's just that they were playing in positions that suit. I mean, like, we know Jota's number 9 is fine. Like, he's good. But maybe, I mean, I know Klopp talked about, having to, playing Núñez on the left, but then bringing him into number 9 later in the game and stuff. But maybe it just suits Núñez just being out on that left allowing him to come inside rather than having to come away from his position
massively
to try and make space for himself. Because he found himself down that sort of, here we go, left half space a few times, and
that's
he just had a lot of just a hi Hibbo. Just he found himself in that space so many times, and just when he's one-on-one with a defender, it's he might not always score, but he's always going to cause a problem.
Well, I think what he's establishing himself as Liverpool's best left winger.
Yeah.
And what Klopp likes. Like, we never used to think of Mane as a left winger.
Yeah.
But he was. That's exactly where he played. But what he was good at was coming into the middle and scoring.
Yeah.
They were all goals that you'd expect Mane to score. And the sort of chances he would get. He's fulfilling the Mane role better than what Diaz was.
Mm.
So maybe that means that Gakpo and Diaz are now just fighting for a job. And therefore, Darwin and Jota are going to play a lot of minutes if Mo's out for a while. And suddenly we have to just go, oh, we have to have them. Like, if they get that double, there's a real good argument that you lean in and get both.
Yeah. There's a lot of transfers though.
There's a lot of transfers. There's a huge amount.
Yeah, because obviously, I'm just thinking selfishly. Obviously, when you say like, what would you do? I go Haaland and De Bruyne and João Pedro, and then I've got to go.
It's difficult.
Solanke to Darwin, and then Saka to Jota. I mean, that might even fit. I tell you what, if that fits, I'm going to find out if that fits.
It's
could be the wildest -16 of my life.
So seducing as soon as we know there's a double game week on the horizon. But I'm like, these are good.
I've just brought in Saka as well, and I'm considering replacing my entire front line. That's cool.
We're all set. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and replace my whole front line. Watkins, Solanke, Archer. Out you go, thanks. In you come, Tony. In you come,
Tony.
Yeah. In you come, Darwin. In you come, Haaland. Thanks so much.
Wow, that's a lot. So are you deading in? Are you going back? Are you going back to your roots? Then you must be
back to the 3-4-3 route. It's been so long I can't even say it. Well, I've brought Garnacho in now, so I've already pushed myself.
Oh yeah, true, yeah. So you're quite well set up for that. That's kind of cool. Cool. I mean, I'm casually just sitting on Gordon, which is not a problem.
No, absolutely not.
Where were we? Darwin,
Liverpool,
good. Jota, good. Liverpool, good. Bournemouth, I mean, I don't think we need to read too much into it, but because Liverpool, good team.
But the fixtures are getting tougher.
Yeah, fixtures are just. I mean, it is.
I didn't see enough. I didn't see enough that I was like, oh, I'll be worried about not owning Solanke. And we're going to have to pick some battles. Like, Solanke's 70% owned. We've got to try and think, how do we.
I can cruise to this, by the way, mate. I can absolutely cruise to this.
He's on it.
Oh, hold on a second.
You can cruise to
it. Oh, no, because Jota's a striker. Hold on, do I get this wrong?
No. Darwin's a striker, Jota's a mid.
I can't find Jota because I'm writing Jota rather than fucking Diogo, aren't I? Diogo J.
It's incredible. Diogo J.
I got 2 million in the bank.
Can we start calling him Diogo J from now on?
Diogo J. Okay.
Anyway, they're a good team. They did well.
Oh, I can't get Tony. I have to get João Pedro. Right, sorry. Where are we going? I'm getting distracted by all this. I'm getting excited.
Brentford.
Go.
I'll get your take on this first. Is it cheating?
Fucking no. No chance.
It's cheating.
It is like it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. If he hasn't come back from an 8-month gambling ban, like, no one cares. Literally no one cares.
Probably, yeah.
KDB does that, no one cares. They just go, oh, genius, look at that. Genuinely.
I think with this, the bit that I was more annoyed about was that I saw the move and the thing after. Because at the time, once he lined it up, I looked at it and was like, why haven't they protected that poke? Because he can the camera angle was perfect. You looked at him and was like, he's just going to pass it into the net. Like, there's a straight It's a straight route. Like the man, like whenever that man lies down, they look like, you remember that goal celebration when the guy pretended to be the fish and they
Yes.
did the old.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of when someone lies behind a wall.
Greatest celebration ever. That is. It's amazing.
What I would have loved more would have been Tony if he'd run around the back of the wall and then did the reel in. But that's what it always feels like to me. Like, what's he doing down there? And he's like, I'm down here now. I'm not moving. But it was just like, you could just see that. So the person to blame, everyone wants to blame the ref. The person to blame is Matt Turner, because Matt Turner is supposed to be managing the wall.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he moved it and then kicked it really quickly.
No.
He moved it and then he stood there for a while.
It's not like he moved it 5 yards. Like he moved it.
Yeah. I think the wall was bad in the first place. Like, probably. I'm pretty sure he might have even moved it because he saw the wall was crap.
But I mean, so any player doing that is an absolute cheat. Like, are you saying the people that used to shuffle forward in the wall when you were a defender, shuffling forward, call them cheats? You're calling someone who grabs 5 yards on a throw in a cheat? You know, the guy who gets an inch on a corner because it doesn't just quite hang out. Are they a cheat? Like,
do I think it would have been funny if VAR had overruled it? Yes.
Oh, it'd have been hilarious, but it'd have been disgraceful if they had.
But it's one of the, we've talked before about what we'd like to see with VAR is they go and get the player and bring them over to the monitor and say, did you move that, mate? Did you actually pick my foam up and move it across her foot and do that?
But
I did.
So I'd like to know whether is the foam just like a tool, or is it actually part of a referee's equipment?
Well, that's a really good question.
In terms of the laws of the game, because if the foam is exactly
what you want to see is that black and white text, isn't it?
Oh, I want to see the black and white text that says ball must be placed where the foam is. Because the problem being is you can't write it into law or you can't write it into like law of the entire game. Well, you can actually with the foam, I guess. You can't with like VAR and stuff, but I mean, for me, it's just
did it for us. Would we say it was the best thing he's ever done?
Exactly. Again, it's because he's just come back from a ban, and to be honest, in the interviews that he's done, he's pretty much played dumb. Like, and it comes across as arrogant. It doesn't come across as remorseful, or it doesn't come across as.
Yeah. Do you think there's also a little bit of the cheat is because of the fanfare that's been this week of hold on, like let's all celebrate it.
I don't get the fanfare.
I think that probably does add to it. It's funny. What I think is the whole thing is funny. Like, that's probably as much as you need to know from it. What did you think of Tony actually, the performance?
Oh, he was amazing. He was brilliant.
His all-round play was just oh yeah, I forget how good he is.
Yeah.
He's a really good footballer.
And someone's just put in the chat, how would I feel if they did it against Spurs? I would fucking hate him. Like, that's just welcome to fandom, man. That's how it works. This is how it works. But no, I just thought that he was just really good. He was just everywhere.
Yeah, loads of things that we have to try and remind ourselves because it's been so long since he played. He's not a conventional forward. He is better if he's got someone with him. So Morpie will be the new Bumo in that sense of somebody that's actually up there with him. Will mean that he has some good chances. I thought the touch and finish from our old Neil was good.
Morpie was great, wasn't it? I thought he'd handled it when I first saw it, and I just couldn't work out why they hadn't given it. But really good finish. But they got to fix up sharp. I mean, that's their first win in like 7 games.
Yeah, and this was because defensively they're terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah. What did you see Ben Mee's attempted clearance when just before Danilo scored? He just hoofs it up into the air.
No, because I turned on and it was like already 1-0.
Right, you didn't bother.
I just saw the goal. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, so there was a little. It was bouncing around, and then Mee goes to clear it, and it literally goes vertical, and then it starts to fall behind him, and then he takes a bounce. Someone heads it, just lands at Danilo's knee, and then he volleys it in from 20 yards.
When it's up in the air, do you think he shouts "me ball"?
No idea. I mean, like,
such a dad joke.
It's terrible.
So old.
On a serious note, though, how when you get penalised, or you used to get penalised shouting "mine" or something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine just shouting "me."
Yeah, you do it all the time.
I mean, he shouts Ben's ball, and he shouts Ben.
I was
definitely
genuinely
shouts
just about
Ben
to say, he definitely looks like the sort of person that refers to himself in the
as
third
Ben.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Ben. Come on, Benners. Chris Wood scores again.
Praz is loving it, isn't he?
What man?
What a man.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to wait on the fixtures on Tony and see how this plays out. But I do think I want him for that double.
Free kicks, penalties. Yeah, that's fine. The fixtures just aren't good enough, I think.
It's just that we've got so much to do.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know,
This
obviously
week
Harry
has got
was
to be City in it. This week you've got to get City.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Just remember the double. The double is City and Liverpool or City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
God, experts.
Here you go. City and Liverpool. Yeah. Home Liverpool, away City.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you want to rush into that, then be my guest.
Yeah. It's because of the 26-29.
It is
West
that as
Ham,
well. Yeah,
Burnley,
there's two extras. There's two extra fixtures in there as well that are guaranteed.
Yeah, that makes us like it. But yeah, Brentford, like they got nothing defensively. Like no one. It's because it's the lack of the midfielders don't do the work that they used to do. I don't feel like is you always see in those big Norwegian lads, the Jan Outs and the Norgards doing the stuff, but they've had some injuries and doesn't feel like the ball. It feels like the ball comes back to them way too quickly.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we move on, if you enjoy the content that we do, make sure you hit a like on the video. If you like this video, I mean, if you hit like the video, hit a like on the video. If you enjoy the content, hit subscribe, get more content from us, notification bell, da-da-da-da-da-da. If you've been interested in the golf day, details coming very, very, very soon on that. Link is still down below, maybe, if you're interested. If not, just drop a message in the comment. We'll get you involved. What we're going to do is we're going to break it up into 2 events rather than just one for this year because trying to organise a big event is honestly like it was making my head spin. So we want to try and make sure that everyone can play as many people as possible. So we're going to do one down south. That's going to be April. So that's coming. And there's going to be one up north, which is going to be more North Manchester kind of way area, that kind of thing. So it kind of gets the people from like Sheffields and stuff like that, but it also includes the guys in sort of Scotland area as well. So yeah, if you are interested, then drop a message in the comments or drop us a DM. Just let us know, and we'll get you involved. Places will be limited on these. Obviously, we won't do huge ones, but places will be limited. So commit, make sure you want to come, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But the days are going to be good. You'll be fully looked after, and we're going to have a good day, play golf, enjoy ourselves, a few drinks, etc., etc., etc. Can't wait. Buzzing. Next game, mate. Who do you want to go? Do you want to leave Arsenal till the end?
Yeah, let's just get Sheffield United and West Ham done.
Cool. Bit of a ding-dong game. I mean, I know the XG's been obviously pumped up by a couple of penalties. But
I don't hear the term ding-dong game enough nowadays.
No, enjoy that one. Enjoy that one.
It's
weird because we're talking about the Brentford Forest games and what was like that as well.
Yeah, which you kind of expect. I fancy that Sheffield United might get something out of this. With issues with obviously Paqueta not there, Kudus not there. I wondered where it would come from. So in a way, I'm quite surprised that West Ham got over 2 XG, even if there is a penalty involved in it. Probably didn't expect, and just the sheer number of chances says that they functioned.
Yeah,
did some interesting stuff. Brought Ings into the team, which is I think a useful thing for them to do. Kudus could now be back because they're just waiting on whether they get a 3rd place or not. But yeah,
it feels unlikely. Didn't you say when you're saying like it's been a while since like a team with like 2 points qualified or something like that?
Yeah, so it looks like they need 3 points. I might be able to tell actually because there's a game on. I think there's a game on tonight which would make a difference.
I mean, I know obviously Cornet gets the goal. Decent enough finish, although ball's bouncing around. Diaz could have scored obviously early into the second half as well. The first goal's good. I like the touch in the box. Like you feel like he's going to come onto it and smash it, and he just takes a tiny touch.
Well, he's good, Brereton Diaz. Like when he was at Blackburn, he was a really good
I'm not going to
striker.
pretend that I knew anything about him before.
Well, no, yeah, I've got a good friend who's a Blackburn fan, so he would talk a lot about him, and we were linked to him at Spurs a few times. So I paid a bit more attention in that. But he was always looked like he was going to be like a £20 million move to the Premier League. It was just going to happen, and then it probably went on too long. They didn't, get up, or even he did enough to get up, and then he goes off to Spain and doesn't quite work out. So now he's back. But this is a guy who, was linked for some pretty good prices that you'd think, and a proven goal scorer, that you'd think, oh, like he probably takes Archer's place and he might take McBurney's place, or one of the two, or both, i.e., where you thought, like, having, like, for me, a little bit, who's got Archer sitting there and thinking, well, he'll always play. He might score, and if he scores, it might be okay. You're like, oh, now there's another striker there. That's not so good. And he's class. Um, he's a class player. So that's an issue. What you are still seeing is, even with a team that's got a load of players out, Sheffield United still conceded 2 XG. So I think that still says to us, target Sheffield United.
Yeah.
They're still probably the team to target. I mean, I guess we're all going to target Burnley this week.
I'd say one, but yeah. You say 2 XG, they conceded a penalty.
Yeah.
Let's call it 1.
1.5. 1.5 open play. But 1.5 open play to them.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of chance there, yeah.
Quite a lot. The Garner thing, which I was looking at,
people are saying he's out.
Yeah, he's out because Gambia and Cameroon had to draw today, and Cameroon won that. So that's almost impossible, I think, now, if not impossible. I think that is impossible, that 2 points could get through.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I mean, that was a group where the third place team had 1 point and the fourth place had 0 points. So if they both drew, then somebody had 2 points.
Oh, okay, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but because one of them won, that's immediately one team on 3 points, and Ghana are out. So that's that done. So we're going to get Kudus back.
Does Kudus makes Bowen a good option again? Maybe, or does Kudus make Kudus a good option?
I think Kudus makes Kudus a good option.
Yeah,
but you've only got so many midfield spots and striker spots, haven't we?
Just pick the good players. And the thing is, the good players are coming from the good teams right now.
Yeah. I guess people are going to choose, probably, say, Kudus or Bowen, probably over Richarlison now, because they're blanking 26.
Yeah.
So I think it makes Richarlison almost impossible to go to.
Yeah. That kind of sucks with Brentford coming up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
rubbish.
Me with him, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But would I go Kudus? Would I go Kudus so I didn't have to free hit in 26 and therefore didn't get Jota?
Yeah.
Or didn't get Kev?
Yeah.
It feels wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah. Take the path of least resistance. I think the chip strat's quite. I think, bar any major chaos happening, like the chip strat feels easy for me. Feels simple.
That's why we need to speak to our friend Praz. So, spoiler alert: we're going to get Mr. Praz on the weekend, because he knows more about this.
Has he confirmed, or are we just calling him out now?
I messaged him last night. I said, any chance you join us on the weekend, because we'll probably get a little bit flummoxed. And he was like, yeah. I think he said he's doing about 12 pods over the weekend. I said, well, that's perfect. That's your standard.
Well, he'd be well versed by the time he gets to us then.
Yeah.
8:30 on Sunday night.
It's always a pleasure. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you probably won't get the same questions from other people as you get from us. Yeah, because I mean, like I say, disclaimer on my side, I've got Richarlison, I've got Palmer, I've got Gusto, I've got Porro, and I want to invest in Liverpool. My question is going to be, how do I do that without free hitting in 26? Is there a way in which I can plan to get in and get out? I don't know that there is.
Yeah.
Well, I think there is. I think what you have to do is keep Solanke, keep Watkins, keep, all the midfielders that play.
And don't get all the fun guys from 25.
Sounds boring, doesn't it?
It does. Let's move on. Talking of boring.
We've got 2 more games.
Still got 2 more games. Yeah, still got 2 more games. Um,
Did you watch this?
bits and pieces, not loads. I didn't really have much. I was just, to be honest, I was so concentrating on hoping that I'd basically locked in the clean sheet by trying to give away a mug.
Playing what?
Clean shit, yeah, I did say clean shit. Clean sheet by giving away for mug for people guessing when Brighton's clean sheet was going to get wiped out.
Yeah,
So 19 people said clean.
that's
It's a good
amazing.
effort.
200.
200 comments. I was like, what the hell? Like, Mr. Beast has just put out a thing for about $250,000, and I'm putting out a mug, and it's like 200 comments, and that's the most we've ever had on one of those things.
People want the mug, mate.
People want the mug.
People
High
want the
value.
mug. Yeah, I feel like everyone tried to tell us this was a great draw. I listened on the radio, and even the radio this morning, it was an entertaining 0-0 draw, and I was like, "God, like we're starved of football. If this is an entertaining 0-0 draw, it was okay, but it wasn't like this is the best 0-0 draw I've ever seen in my life."
There's a few chances, but there's not many, and like the chances look bigger than they are. Although there are 2 big chances in there for sure.
Kuna's is double though, isn't it? So he
Yeah.
had the chance, and then he skied the rebound, which was an open goal effectively. So that's what makes that's 2 shots in one there from Kuna.
Did you see him get booked in the first half?
That's what I'm saying. But did you not see that the camera never zoomed in on it? Because he did it. He already did it once. Gilmore already took him out off the ball once.
Yeah.
And he went and said, "Hold on, he literally just ran at the ref. Like, I've just been taken out off the ball." And they didn't. They showed a replay from the zoomed out bit, and I was like, "Did he elbow or what? What's the deal?" And then he does it again, and he goes and moans. I was amazed he didn't get sent off though at half time, because he was
fuming.
There
was a lot of it at half time. Actually, the Wolves players were just all over the place, and like Gary O'Neill studying the monitor. But God knows how.
I wonder if he misses that chance. And the fact that the chance comes right after the second half, where he's just still like, "Oh my God, I've released it." He's probably had to proper convince him that he can actually come out for the second half and not get sent off.
Yeah.
And then does that immediately.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just glad they're cleaned. I mean, it doesn't tell me loads for strikers, to be honest, because this is a game where you want them to score goals.
Yeah, Neto, you just always like Neto did so many good things, and then it was like, oh yeah, he does still play for Wolves though, so it's probably not going to go in.
A lot of Neto's goals were self-created when he was having that little run. He was running off the bat, running channels, and they were coming from deep, or he was skinning about 6 different players and then putting it in the back of the net. If he's not got that support, and like He-Chan's obviously like a big miss, I think.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah. And they did bizarrely has overperformed both his XG and XA by quite some bit as well. So maybe there's something there, but it's just a nice player to watch. But again, do I think I'm going to get him? No. Similar on Gross.
Yeah.
You were like, it's really nice. It's really nice seeing what he does, and he's always in about it. He's always around, but you're like,
but he's not Solly March.
It's not Solly March. It's not. Don't give us a feet like Matoma. Even Matoma I've avoided because he's just a winger. And Gross, do you feel like he's just a midfielder in a team where they're playing 2 strikers for most of the game, and therefore that's difficult. And then he can't really win Gross in some ways, because the strikers, if they score, then they're going to get bonus. And then the defenders, they're really, really, really good on baseline. When we did our bonus pod early in the season, Steele and Van Heck, they are monsters on it. So they're normally always in and about. Van Heck would have been up there again, but he actually missed. He was quite involved in some of the set places. He missed 2 big chances. So that hurts you. And a Stupinan, it's funny, innit, the takes on a Stupinan, because let's be honest, for me as a non-owner, he's 40% owned, like out of nothing. Like everyone's just dived in. You've got him, obviously, and so forth. So people are tainted in whatever their views are. So they're straight away, oh, he's not playing left wing back, he's playing left centre back. So I'm going to, but that's owners are going to say that because they want him to score a hat trick. because it's been such a long game week, they're like, just want a hat trick out of him. Especially those guys that didn't have Gabriel and do have a Stupinan, they're like, I definitely want a hat trick out of him. Um, um, but he wasn't. Like the sheer number of, if nothing else tells you about where is he playing, it's his touches. So like I think in the first half he touched I looked to think, has he got his pass completion? And he'd made like 60 passes at 95% at half time. Well, no fullback in the world makes 60 passes at 95%. That's just that's not simply possible, is unless a team like just plays down one side and refuses to play on the other side of the pitch. Like he was playing way off the touchline as his primary role. Like, and then the other part, people will look at his heat map and they'll be like, oh, but it looks down the left-hand side, and he'll be like, yeah, that's fine. But how many centre backs do they play? Oh, 3. So what actually happens is go look at Van Heck, and guess what? His touch map looks like his touch map, but on the other side. So he's playing left centre back, and Van Heck's playing right centre back. And Van Heck was in some really, really good positions. Like I think if you needed a really, really cheap asset, he's a good one to get at like 4.1, whatever he is. But you're never going to, because you're going to get a Stupinan because it's much, much more fun.
Yeah.
And a Stupinan was on crosses, on corners. Albeit, I think what we saw all week on set pieces is teams have had a bit more time. So that is Arsenal we're going to get.
I was going to say, yeah.
They clearly worked on stuff for that game. What we saw from Brighton was that Gross took them from the left and Estupinan took them from the right. So what that means is in-swinger. So is that Wolves specific that they wanted to go in-swinger, or is that just the way it is? And don't know that until we do.
Yeah.
But that all helps him, ultimately. If a Stupinan plays left wing back, he's a really good asset for 5 million. If a Stupinan plays left centre back, he's a really good asset for 5 million. Ultimately, he's just a really, really good asset.
And the fixtures are great. And the fixtures are really, really, really great.
Yeah. What comes to the point is that you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to let go? If you haven't got him, are you prepared to let go of Porro? Are you prepared to let go of Trent? Are you prepared to let go of Arsenal players? If the answer is no to all of those, are you okay with benching one of those each week if you have a Stupinan as well? Or would you look to play 4 at the back? And the answer is probably no on that one as well. So it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Oh, Christ, yawning. That's not good.
Yawning.
Yeah.
Because you've got 4 now, haven't you?
I do have 4. I was just double checking. I do have 4.
So in a way, you kind of want Trent to be out for one more game, so you haven't got to make that decision.
Yeah, a little bit. It would make things interesting. I mean, yeah, it would make things interesting.
Because who are you benching next week?
Make a decision. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we can get to that, I guess, but Anderson's in at the moment. I'm obviously benching Trent.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's going to be difficult decisions if you do get him as your 4th.
Yeah.
So people should just accept it that it's going to be a difficult decision.
Yeah.
Or, you start planning for non-free hit, and then you've got to take Porro out.
Yeah. Just
tough in it. Take Porro out.
It is really difficult. I mean, Brentford, Everton, Brighton, Wolves next 4.
I think those
3 home games. 3 home games.
I think you've done a fantastic thing jumping on him now, because I think you're going to hammer it with him.
It's Stupinan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's very little anyone who hasn't got him can do anything about it.
Yeah.
Fun.
Let's move on.
Last game, innit?
Last game. Oh, they've absolutely battered them. They've just pumped them, basically. And I have to say, people give some of the analysis a bit of shit, but I thought the set piece analysis on Match of the Day was pretty good. That's quite
with the Odegaard touch the socks.
Not that bit, no, just the bits around like the Trossard blocking of Anderson and stuff like that. be spotting that and just highlighting that. It was very clever. The Odegaard bit, I didn't really understand. Like he pulls on his socks and he taps his feet and you do a short corner and you
Ruffles
do
his hair a bit,
ruffles his
does
hair
all
and
this
it's an
stuff.
outswinging back post. I mean, it's like,
it's funny.
Yeah, that was a bit of nonsense. But the bit around Trossard and making it difficult for Anderson just to get anywhere near the ball was clever because he got nowhere near the ball on any set piece.
Nowhere near the ball.
Nowhere near it. So yeah, and as I said earlier, no. Go on.
I think we do have to remember that Palace have been bad. We've talked. If anyone's watched the pod over a number of years, Palace have been bad for years
at set pieces.
Yeah. Are really bad at set pieces. They knew that, and they've just gone, we're going to hammer you for it. And they did. And they did. I guess the question on Arsenal is still, they scored off 2 set pieces and 3 counters.
Yeah, but they've still got it in and score 5 goals against weak teams. 5 goals, weak team at home.
But they can score 5 without Saka having any involvement and Odegaard having any involvement. And they're the 2 people that, if you're looking at the attack, that most people are looking for. Like, there'll be people out there that had both.
Well, you can't have Trossard or Martinelli because they basically one plays or the other plays.
So
there's just not enough minutes there for it to make sense.
Like, what do we do?
You've still got to buy a ticket, right? Because on another day, Saka pops up at the back post and gets it dropped to him at his feet from 5 yards out when you don't own him otherwise. And that's why you bring him in and captain him.
Martinelli just needed to pass early to Saka.
Yeah,
that last one.
If you're telling me
the late goal,
like literally, so you say to me, right? So I'm here. I haven't seen the games. And you go, your options were Palmer and Saka, and you go, okay, fine. And you go, Chelsea 1, Fulham 0, Arsenal 5, Palace 0. I go, yes, perfect. From an FPL perspective. I know I've said yes, perfect about Arsenal winning 5-0. That's not what I meant.
No, we know what you meant.
It's not like we're on video or anything. No. But I feel like that's the fine. It's fine. It's fine as a decision, and I still think having Saka's fine.
So having Saka's fine
for now. Unless we get Jota and KDB in, and Darwin and João Pedro and Haaland, and we just go fucking nuts for a -16.
Watching Saka, and I sent you some data I looked at on Scout about, because what I looked at was like, how are we looking this year to last year? And look, his stats are all better this year than last year. Really. What Arsenal do is they dominate in a way that not many teams are doing, in that it's oppression. They're pass maps every game. Like virtually everyone's in the top in the opposition's half, apart from Saliba, who just plays sweeper. Saliba just goes, I'll sweep the lot. We'll come on to Saliba, but that's all he's doing. He's sweeping the whole team, and the rest of them can go and press and press and press. Saka did have the ball a lot in good positions. He talked after the game about, I'm being doubled up on, tripled up on a lot, and all that stuff. I do think there's a little bit of, it's a bit whingy. I do feel there's a little bit in it.
Well, you're playing for one of the best teams, and you're one of the best players in one of the best teams. You're gonna get targeted a little bit every now and again.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of ruthlessness in the way that Saka plays football. I think that we judge him because of where he plays, because of the price, because of FPL, what it is. We judge how he performs on the pitch, a bit similar to Salah, a bit similar to other players that have played that kind of high, wide right role. We'd treat him similar to, a Bowen, for example, a Sterling, a Rashford, all those players. And if you look at his baseline on BPS, so baseline is basically going to be, what input is he having in the game? And this is selected midfielders, like popular midfielders in this game, looking at the screen. So the baselines of the top players that you'd expect, the Gross, the Foden, the Odegaard, the Bruno, they're the players where you expect them to have high baseline minutes because they're more playmakers, they're more involved in the game. Saka is fifth on this list. Behind him is Eze and Palmer. So he's more playmaker, he's more involved in the game, contributes more to the team than they do. Then you move into Son and Salah, who do a bit more than your average kind of wingers. Then you start moving into your wingers, which are your Matomas, your Gordons, your Rashfords, your Sterlings. Then you get your out of position strikers who do very little. Your Hwangs, Bowens, Richarlison. Richarlison's minutes per baseline is 36 and Saka's is 8. Like, we can't judge them the same in terms of what you should expect from them, sort of almost goal output. But what you do know is because of the work that he puts in, that if he does score, it is pretty big points. Like, he had a baseline of 16. If he'd have scored, he's on 34. Now, still would have only been one bonus point this week because unfortunately, is
Gabriel
one player
gets
braced and the other, and he got a defender who clean scored and assisted. Full lot. But in a normal game, that's a double digit.
Yeah.
If Martinelli just puts that ball across to him in the 95th minute that he could easily have done,
he gets 2 bonus.
Yeah, well, yeah, he would have got 2 bonus
because Martinelli doesn't get it. Yeah,
exactly. So he got 2 bonus. He'd got the goal, and we'd have been saying 10 points. Thanks very much. See you later.
Yeah.
So he's doing okay, and I think it conflicts how we think about it because we see in our brain a winger, but actually what he's doing is, from an FPL stance, is the work of a playmaker. But weirdly, like, we're harsher on that than we say Bruno stinking it up, because you've almost got an acceptance of Bruno stinks it up because he's playing the centre midfield. He plays on the right wing, and if he doesn't score every game, we're like, well, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
But he's contributing to the team. He's done 36 big chances he's created this season. That's almost 2 a game. 54 key passes. That's more than 2 a game. Puts in, put open play crosses is one of every other game that's successful. Plus, he's got his set piece crosses. His dribbles is good. He's just an all-round good asset. But is he likely to explode? You don't know, because Arsenal can explode and he doesn't have to contribute to it because of the team player he is. I think if we're hindsighting it, it's easy to say that Palmer only had a penalty. But what if they didn't get a penalty? We've almost ruled out that potentially if they didn't get a penalty, Palmer wouldn't have stepped up in another way. Palmer ultimately stepped up to make that penalty with the best pass of the match. And if it wasn't a penalty, then who's to say that, in the 50th, 60th, 70th minute, he didn't take some other form of scruff of the neck and do something else with it? Like, there's a bit of game state in it where hindsight, we can just say Palmer just got a pen. But maybe the thing you would say on hindsight is that Chelsea are more reliant on Palmer than Arsenal are reliant on Saka for goals.
Yeah.
I think they're really reliant on Saka as a team, but I don't think they're necessarily reliant on him to score their goals.
They don't have just because of the way they play, they don't have a talisman in that sense. They just never really have.
Yeah.
They never really have.
Yeah. Do I think I'll sell Saka? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I've just brought him in. So I've got that problem that a couple of weeks ago you were talking about with bringing Alvarez in, and I was like, yeah, I can get rid of Alvarez. I've got that now. I've just brought him in. I've just brought Saka in after all this time.
I know. Depends. Effectively, I should now be looking. I just brought Richarlison in, and I should now be looking to move Richarlison on before I move Saka on, because unless I'm free hitting.
Yeah. You mentioned set pieces. You mentioned Saliba.
Yeah, and this is a bit for me.
Well.
Look, I'm the Saliba owner. Yeah, and goals are rare. You have to remember last season that Gabriel was the highest scoring defender with 3 goals in a season. So when it happens, you're like, oh, feels really jarring. And it is jarring, you know, when you've got 6 points and everybody else has got 17 points, you're like, oh. But Arsenal are really good at set pieces. You know, effectively, an XG on set pieces is really, 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 really noisy because it only takes a goal line scramble and one that just is like 2 yards out that someone pokes in, and suddenly that whole team suddenly looks a lot better on set pieces. But effectively, if you look at the XG for this season, there's 5 teams that have got more than 8 XG. That's Everton, Brentford, Arsenal, West Ham, Liverpool. After that, you've got Newcastle on 7 XG. Then it's straight down to 6. It's and then 6s, 5s, 3s, crapness. There's a few teams that are massively overperforming in set pieces, and that's Tottenham and Luton. Whether you say that's, you know, the headers of Richarlison and Romero, or you say it's the delivery of Doughty, but it is what it is. Is those 2 teams have done, you know, exceptionally well on it. But these 5 teams, you know, what I always think to look at is when you've got teams that are good at set pieces is there, are they the sort of ones where it's just they're good at set pieces, the delivery is great, they put it in the right places and everybody's in on it, or is there just some real key assets for it? So if you look at Everton, Tarko is the person they look for with the ball. So everyone else is doing kind of decoys, you know, is so his XG, his attempts, sorry. So what you're looking at here isn't XG in terms of the players, it's pure volume. So he has 0.48 headed attempts per game from set pieces. Next best is Brentford on 0.17. So he's 3 times more likely than Brentford to score a header. Yeah, and this is just attempts. What you actually also see is quite often they have with knockdowns as well, which then lead to chances created. But even in the attempts, it's big. Gabriel, you know, so Arsenal, similar. It's all at Gabriel, 0.75 attempts in total, 0.64 with his head, compared to Saliba, 0.19 attempts in total, 0.1 with his head. So Gabriel goes into every game 6 times more likely to score a header than Saliba. It's not unlucky. Like, they're deliberately making moves to try free Gabriel up to score goals. He's also created 6 big chances this season, Gabriel. Saliba's created 1. So in total, what you're saying is, from an attacking standpoint, Gabriel's the one. Yes, Saliba has slightly better baseline than Gabriel, but when Gabriel's cheaper, it's just a better asset. It's just a better asset. And I'm in a difficult position where when am I actually ever going to be in a position where I move Saliba to Gabriel? It's pretty difficult to say that that's the priority move for any time.
I can't see that being a move you want to make, or even, I mean, you might consider it on wild card, right? Because if you want to shuffle things around,
decision. If I was priced out of a move by like 0.3 or 0.4, and therefore I can relieve a bit of money and do it, I think that would then push me as well a little bit in it. But when you've just been burnt, it's a problem, you know, and that is, you know, what it is. Other teams, so Liverpool, you see this. Van Dijk is the big one. You know, the other guys actually do all right. Like Kanate and Matip, you know, they do all right. But Van Dijk is the big boy, like over 1 attempt per game from set pieces. That's why he gets nearly 200 points every season. Then you've got other teams like Brentford and West Ham, where it's committee. So literally, you know, all of the defenders in those worlds, they're all getting chances. It's not really, they go for the more the chaos. You know, it's good delivery. Ward-Prowse can do both. Yeah, it's not about the movement, it's about delivery. Jensen can do both, like Beckham-esque deliveries. It's when we see these things and we spot over a period of time, and half a season is probably now enough for us to start making some views on set pieces. Gabriel is the one they look for. If you can get him, he's the better asset. Maybe the option, you know, I contemplated a little while back, but again, the reason I backed off of it was having the 4 defenders. But when I needed a 4th defender, I got Gusto, and I contemplated getting Gabriel, thinking that then that would make it easier to come off Saliba, and maybe I should have done that. Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, am I unlucky as a Saliba owner? No. He's pretty good.
The data's the data.
Do you think so? Timber's back in training. Do you think Timber back in training will create any kind of, maybe Gabriel's a rotation risk, or is it just that's done?
Honestly, I don't care.
Nah.
I don't care. If Gabriel doesn't become an option, then I take him out.
Well, you don't mind because you've got 4 defenders and you've just had the points.
I care less because it's Arsenal, so I don't really care. I'll just take him out. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, despite having all those little sexy moves that we can do, I think we get shit for this, or everyone gets shit for this. But just like, there's so much information still to be had before the deadline. Like, I can't see a reason to make any moves. No. Like, I can -8 into Darwin, João Pedro, and KDB.
We might get injuries in the weekend.
Yeah,
that changed everything.
FA Cup,
Spirit of the Cup.
But Bowen didn't look on
Magic.
it. Bowen didn't look on it. He didn't look ready. Didn't look sharp. Just spin that narrative however we want.
Yeah, we want him. We want people to sell him.
Chelsea have won like 5-0 or something. Something ridiculous. It was 4 before half time, and now it's 5. And Palmer scored twice, and yeah, this is exactly what Tottenham did. Tottenham won 5-0, didn't we? When we beat Sheffield United.
You called it well, mate. I'm not sure I'm happy that you called it well, but you did.
Okay, fair enough.
Obviously, Chelsea.
So, early thoughts. Do you have any early thoughts, or is it literally sit and wait? Robbie Williams
in the bank.
Robbie Williams style, sit and wait.
I've got 13 million quid in the bank, so it's actually a quite difficult one this week because Haaland's really easy for me, because I just go Archer to Haaland, and life's good.
Yeah.
But if he's not, I've just moved that. I've gone early and made the move to get Garnacho to start moving a 3-4-3, which means my other midfielders are Palmer, Saka, Richarlison, and who's the other one? We must all have him. Must be someone that everyone's
Palmer,
got.
Saka.
God, I can't even remember my team. That's how bad my team's gone. Foden.
Oh, Foden, okay.
Yeah, Foden. So you're not taking Foden out?
Nope.
You're not taking Palmer out?
Nope. Not taking Gordon out.
You're not taking Saka out?
No.
You're not taking
Gordon.
So for me, yeah, you can't take Gordon, but I've got Garnacho now. So I've got that money sitting around that I could, like, if Haaland's not playing, I could just go Garnacho back to
Kev.
But you're like,
so you brought in Garnacho for Spurs v Man United, and then just take him straight back out again.
That's ridiculously what I've done.
So you've done that, and then we didn't, and neither of us got any Liverpool players.
For a hit. And for a hit.
And neither of us got any Liverpool players for Bournemouth.
So the ideal for me is that Haaland's fit, and I just do Haaland in for Archer, and I wait on Kev, which is horrible.
And Kev's more likely to start on Friday, isn't he? Surely.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope.
I mean, obviously, Haaland's training now.
Yeah. The hope would be almost in a way that Haaland plays 60 and Kev plays 90. And you're like, oh, okay, great. Maybe he doesn't play in midweek against Burnley, but Haaland does. So the ideal for me this week would be that I just bring Haaland in, and then I have a benching decision between Garnacho against Wolves or Palmer at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Everything would be nice and easy then. Everything would be lovely, lovely, nice and easy. But it's hard not having Kev in it. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, he just looks ready, and people were trying to get rid of. I mean, people were saying like you don't want. Trying to get into Discord, and I realised I've turned my keyboard off. like once Kev's fit, like he's not fatigued. Like, once he's fit, he's not fatigued. He hasn't had 5 months of football lagging him down for the end of the season. He's going to be raring to go. He's going to be well ready.
He's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I was getting into Discord is because Sam had asked a question in Discord, just saying, do we consider triple Liverpool for 25 if they blank in 26? Would it be worthwhile selling Porro and or Palmer to accommodate this? I'm minded just to double up as I see Porro and Palmer as season keepers. Hold on. Oh, I'm minded to double as I see Porro and Palmer as season keepers. Ideally Salah and Trent, then sell Trent for the blank.
Yeah. I mean, there is a world. There is a world where I hit out Palmer this week. If I felt that I wasn't going to go to, what do we call it? I wasn't going to free hit 26.
Okay.
If I wasn't going to free hit 26, then maybe I've got to start reducing my Chelsea and Spurs guys.
So this is obviously not updated now. But Chelsea in the next, because obviously now Chelsea and Spurs blank in 26. So Chelsea have got Liverpool, Wolves, Palace, City blank, Brentford, Newcastle, Arsenal.
Yeah.
When did you buy Palmer? Were you late or early?
Neither or. I get 5.5 for him.
You get 5.5. I think I only get like 5.3.
Well,
I don't know. What is he now?
You got him earlier than me, though.
I got him at 4.9.
Yeah, no, I got him later.
So what is he? 6? Oh no, he's 5.8.
He's 5.8. I got him at 5.3.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. So you're in a much. Yeah, it's much easier for you to drop him out. No problem, right? It feels a lot easier. I would get 5. I'd get 5.3 for him.
I could do Solanke.
5.8.
I could do Solanke and Palmer to Kevin Haaland.
Sounds fun.
Doesn't it sound fun?
just put that on a piece of paper in front of you and go, like, does this not sound like the most obvious move you'll ever make?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Sounds fun.
Transfers do look like that. They do look fun like that.
It's all fun and games until Salah says he's back for 25, and then I'm like, what do I do now?
Oh, mate, we've got plenty of time. We have plenty of time for that. Plenty of time. Does anyone else have any other questions while we wait and do nothing for the next week? As we said, like, obviously Praz is going to come on and speak to us on Sunday. Obviously no review of games, but
just told everyone. Told everyone.
Does it? Well, you said did he actually respond?
Fine.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, he did.
The way you just said it then, you was like, you said you messaged him last night and he just hadn't responded and you just assumed that he was going to be fine with it.
Oh yeah, no, he's fine.
He's fine.
He works it out. He loves it. He loves us. We love him.
What are you doing for the rest of this week?
Oh, I'm going to do a pod tomorrow with The Wire. So just Prano, just late riser, me and Danny, our friend Danny. We did one last year, just a general chit chat about our thoughts so far in the season, do a bit on teams, bit through some stuff. Just going to leave it really for Pranell to tell us what to talk about and we'll have a chat. So that'll be fine. Be good. So hoping to do that. I think we're hoping to do it about 4:35 p.m. UK time tomorrow. So if anyone's about, jump to The Wire, our good friends, and chat again. What are you doing this week? Gymnastics?
Not personally. Hopefully getting Starlink installed tomorrow. So, the old crappy Scottish internet can disappear and I can go full Elon, pay for my blue tick on X and got full Elon Musk.
Full Elon.
Gone full Elon. How bad is that? People will hate me for that.
Yeah. We don't care.
Is Trent back? Maybe. Rumoured to start tomorrow. Maybe. Don't like moving Palmer to KDB. I mean, look, it's difficult. Palmer is crucial to what Chelsea do. 2 goals tonight. or Trent might make the FA Cup game at the weekend. That's probably more realistic, to be fair. Nihal asks, has the Jota ship sailed? I don't think so. Not yet.
No, I don't think so.
I think, he'll prove himself.
It's best finisher in the club.
This is true. This is true. On that note, we're going to love you and leave you. Thank you as always for watching. If you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments below. Before you leave, make sure you hit a like on the stream. I haven't looked at how many likes are on the stream. I'm not going to, so I'm not going to judge you lot. But if you haven't done so, make sure you drop a like.
We'll judge you afterwards.
We'll judge you after instead. And we're less than 100 subs away from 7,000, so make sure you hit the subscribe button as well.
Nice.
We are subscribe whores like that.
That's what we do.
On that note, enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the FA Cup if you've got teams playing in it, and we'll see you on Sunday with Praz. Cheers, mate.
See you Sunday. All right, mate.